You're watching Minnesota Vikings Now by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey here with a pretty loaded show for you today. We're going to look around the behind the enemy lines, I should say. The Roquan Smith trade. Is that going to happen? How that impacts the Vikings and division rival Bears. The latest on Ndamukong Suh, which maybe the Vikings are still the favorites after all. Plus some training camp takeaways. The not so good on Kellen Mond, the okay on Lewis Cine, and the good on kicker Greg Joseph. All that's coming up, but we begin with Roquan Smith, the star Bears linebacker, one of their last remaining truly great pieces, has requested a trade out of Chicago. It would be a significant loss for the Bears defense in the event that they do trade him and fail to make him the highest paid linebacker in the NFL. I don't believe the Vikings really make any sense as a realistic fit because they are a division rival. If the Bears played in the NFC South or the NFC East or the AFC North, it'd be a much different conversation, or if the Vikings played in that division after all. But because this is the Bears' best player, their best player on defense, hypothetically in the wildest, wacky of worlds going to the Vikings, the big division rival, as good as Roquan Smith is, as fun as he would be on the Vikings, I don't really think it makes any sense, but it would be a big-time loss for the Bears. Plus, on the bright side for Minnesota, I feel pretty good about this linebacking core. Eric Kendricks, Jordan Hicks, Brian Asamoah, Troy Dye, Chaz Surratt. Those are some young players that offer upside and value there. So, noteworthy to check in on. Nothing you should expect anytime soon, though. Our goal, though, soon, is to get to 6,000 subscribers right here on our Minnesota Vikings channel. We are past the 5,000 mark. Thank you all so much who have subscribed already. To 6,000, that's the next goal. If you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe. Could Ndamukong Suh head to the Minnesota Vikings? Long has been a rumored idea, a theory out there for the Vikings and for Suh. Remember, the last update was that Suh and the Vikings are not particularly close on a deal. There's a pretty big gap in the value that both sides are looking for. I think the one to keep in mind, Akeem Hicks, 1 year, $8 million deal from the Bucs to replace Suh. I bet he wants something similar. Despite the report out of Minnesota that the Vikings and Suh are not close, the latest betting odds are indicative of Suh likely ending up in Minnesota. Here are the 4 teams with odds as to the next Suh destination. Minnesota is minus 110, the heavy betting favorite. The Browns plus 110. The Raiders plus 275. And the Rams plus 850. And although, yes, the Vikings and Suh are not close on the money, remember, as we get further and further along into the preseason, into the training camp, etc., the money tends to drop back down. Look at what the Cowboys and Anthony Barr, former Vikings player, ended up doing. Barr wanted upwards of $11 million. He got 2 from the Vikings. Will Suh's drop quite that much? I'm not so sure. But I think this is one to keep an eye out for until Suh ends up signing somewhere else. We know there is some semblance of mutual interest. Now, the implied probability with those odds is 52.38% that Minnesota ends up landing Ndamukong Suh. So I want to hear from you guys. What do you think is the percent chance the Vikings actually end up signing Suh? Sound off for me in the comments section. In fact, I'm going to make this question the pinned comment on today's video. If the ad break happens to come here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know what you think the percent chance is the Vikings end up getting Suh. All right, training camp takeaways, news, notes, concerns, whatever fun noun you want to use there. We begin with the lesser one. We'll get more confident as things go on. That's on Kellen Mond. He has shown some flashes and is still lacking the ideal consistency I think everyone in the organization would like to have in at least the back quarterback, even if he's not going to be the future of the position. Reportedly has an issue with decision-making, consistency, which was all what the problems were at A&M. He has been getting reps with the second team. Mond and Sean Mannion have had chances to rotate, both getting a chance to win and earn that backup quarterback battle in a way that, well, Mike Zimmer was never, ever, ever going to give to Kellen Mond since Zim hated his quarterbacks in Minnesota for whatever reason. I want Mond to show he can be the guy. I also have doubts that's ever going to happen from a developmental standpoint. So of the two options right now, because of course Kirk Cousins is your starter, pick a backup quarterback. Type in S for Sean Mannion, the veteran, or K for Kellen Mond, the youngster. Sound off in the comments section. And we've also got a special deal for you guys, a t-shirt combo from our friends over at Fanatics. Chatsports.com/Vikings combo. The t-shirt combo pack is back. It's a limited time offer. It's the best deal Fanatics offers. Try it out today. 2 t-shirts for about the price of one of an officially licensed NFL gear from Fanatics. Chatsports.com/Vikings combo. The link's in the comments section and in the description. Let's move on to safety. Lewis Cine in particular, who has not been bad at camp. Impressive is a fair word to use for Cine. Despite that, he's not really a starter. Yes, he's gotten reps with the first team and the starters, but that's come more of as hey, he's the third safety in the big nickel look alongside the other starters, and he gets first team reps when there's only 2 safeties when Cam Bynum or Harrison Smith need or get a break. But in terms of the top 2, quote-unquote, safeties, Lewis Cine remains behind Bynum. Here's what ESPN wrote on the safety roster battle. Quote, Lewis Cine was the number 32 overall pick of the draft, a place that can produce immediate starters, and there's been an opening ever since veteran Xavier Woods departed via free agency. But through the first 2 weeks of camp, the Vikings have not pushed Cine ahead of second-year player Cameron Bynum. While Cine has performed well, and his hitting ability has been on display since full pads came on, Bynum has taken most of the first-team reps alongside Harrison Smith. Cine was that first-round pick, a fun blend of player. He's got the range to play true free safety, and he is not afraid to come down and lay the lumber in terms of hitting. That's kind of the 2 big selling points on why he was a back end of the first-round selection. The issue for Minnesota is maybe a good one. I like Cam Bynum a lot. I think he's a very quality football player, and I'm okay with him being a borderline starter. Now, the issue is you've got Harrison Smith, one of the best safeties in the NFL, and a first-round pick. You'd probably have it flipped if you were operating from an ideal world, where Cine is safety 2, Bynum is safety 3, who gets to be the big nickel guy. I do think Minnesota will use multiple safety looks plenty, but in terms of who the quote-unquote starter is, pick one for me. LC for Lewis Cine, the first-round pick from Georgia. CB, the day 3 pick out of Cal for Cam Bynum. Drop your predictions, or your selections, I should say, in the comments section. We end on a positive note. That is on kicker Greg Joseph. He is the only kicker right now on the Vikings roster, but he has inspired confidence in the team, and in particular, special teams coordinator Matt Daniels. Here's what the coach had to say, quote, I have the utmost highest confidence. I'll put it on record right now and say that I firmly believe Greg Joseph will have his best year of his career this year. You can just tell the process and approach he's taking on each and every individual kick. You can tell he's really dialed in, and I'm excited for Greg. Now, at camp, reportedly, Joseph has missed 2 kicks so far. A 55-yarder that he then made on the next attempt, and a 41-yarder that came on Monday. That's really good. Now, I know it's a low-pressure situation in terms of it's training camp. If he misses, not the end of the world. But the Vikings, I think, were so confident and or so unimpressed by UDFA Gabe Burchett that they cut him pretty much immediately despite signing him as an undrafted free agent. Joseph has been given the job by Minnesota, and so far it appears that he's really earned it as well. He was a little bit up and down last year, 86.8%. There were some highs. There were some unfortunate lows as well. Hoping for better extra point accuracy. Based on all the stuff coming out of camp, it seems like Joseph is the guy confidently at kicker this year. And I think that's a pretty big deal as the Vikings move forward and try to make a playoff spot in the NFC North this year. If you have not already, I am once again asking you to subscribe here on Minnesota Vikings Now. We've got videos almost every single day, and at long last, the preseason is almost here. We're going to keep you covered with winners and losers, news and notes, everything from week 1 of the preseason to week 18, and hopefully beyond for Minnesota of the regular season. So hit that big red button if you haven't already. If you're watching somewhere other than YouTube, it's youtube.com/Vikings Today.